Kevin McCullough.
All right, everybody, welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing what you can to change the world around you. You know that right now we are undergoing a very important season with liberating slaves from the Sudan, and we have had a wonderful week. Several of you stepped forward. I think an additional 8 slaves have been liberated. That brings us to around 74 going into the evening tonight. But as I mentioned in the first segment of tonight's show, we have something very special for you if you liberate a slave tonight, because every slave that is going to be matched for the first 4 will all be matched by me. In other words, if 4 of you will liberate one slave tonight at 888-342-1010, 888-342-1010, 888-342-1010. The McCullough family is going to match those 4 slaves so we could liberate an additional 8 just this evening. That would get us to somewhere in the neighborhood of 82 slaves to go before the end of the 82 slaves liberated before the end of the month. Our goal is to be at 104 slaves liberated by the end of June. So this is very important that we make some headway on that tonight. And tonight, if you are one of the first 4 that liberate a human being from slavery, the McCullough family is going to step up and match that gift, slave for slave tonight. Please be generous and dig as deep as you can. If someone could do 4 slaves all at once, that would be wonderful. If we could have more than one family that would match our gift for tonight, that would also be an amazing thing. We have, 26 to go to get to the 100. No, we have 30 to go to get to the goal by the end of the month. And we have just, a little over 3 weeks to do that. So we can do this. And friends, I just need your help. Would you go to the phone, 888-342-1010, or just click the website, bringherhome.org, bringherhome.org. Now, what are we talking about? Well, the slaves that are enslaved in northern Sudan have been spoils of war. Women that were taken during attacks on South Sudan during the Sudanese Civil War. And when the world sought to bring peace to the rest of the universe in the Civil War, they did not take care of the slaves. They did not go liberate the slaves. So our friends at Christian Solidarity International have been faithfully executing this task. And just your efforts with us here at this show, over the last 10 years, we've liberated 4,500 human beings out of actual slavery. And it works very simple. We negotiate their freedom. Once we have them free, we bring them back to South Sudan where their home is, and we give them what's called the bag of hope. The bag of hope is everything they need to start their life over again. It's a year's worth of food, another year's worth of seed. It's tarps and blankets and things that will help protect them from the weather extremes that they will face. It gives them utensils to cook, clean, fish, and hunt with. And at the end of the day, it gives them a little she-goat that they can begin a micro enterprise. It also gives them other things like clean drinking water and a Bible and a whole bunch of stuff. But friends, it is much, much more than just a bag of hope. But when you give it, that's the $250. It includes everything, by the way, including the goat. It's all included for the one-time gift of $250. Our family tries to liberate one slave every month, but tonight we are going to institute match night. And so if you go and give a gift right now to liberate a slave, it will be matched by myself, my bride, my kids. We're all in this together, and we want you to be in on it with us as well. 888-342-1010, 888-342-1010, 888-342-1010, or go to bringherhome.org, bringherhome.org. And at the end of the day, it is touching a real person's life, someone who has been through brutal treatment from slave masters and heinous evil from the people that took her captive. But friends, that's not the end of the story. If we can get her free and get her back home, there's going to be a huge celebration from the church that's in her village that is ready to welcome her home. 888-342-1010, 888-342-1010.
It took me 15 days to walk the journey back to South Sudan. But that marked a passage for my life, from the horrors of slavery to a future filled with hope. Taken when I was just a child, snatched away literally from my mother's arms, my dreams of happiness were shattered as my living nightmare began. And suddenly, I found myself a slave. My slave master stripped me of my Christian faith and even my name, and he stamped on me instead a Muslim name and identity, and the beginning of a life of endless work. My worst day in slavery is still a vivid memory. My master sent me for a very difficult job of fetching water. The jugs are very heavy, and the distance is very far. When I was on my last trip to the well for that day, a group of Arab men approached the well and began calling out to me. And then they raped me. My master refused to accept my story and even blamed me for what ended up happening. And he did so even though he had raped me so many times before that. Because I have no idea of my birthday or even hometown. When I arrived to South Sudan, I was very blessed to be able to join a community of 150 other former slaves. And as I am now pregnant with a child that was conceived from my abusers, it's my hope to be a loving and caring mother. I hold no remorse against this child because I am so grateful. I wish to send thanks to God and thanks to those of you who cared about me and brought me safely home. And I would like to ask that you not stop until every captive is freed, fed, and healed. My name is Abuk Garang, and because of your faithfulness, I was freed in November of 2023. And this is my story.